They say practice makes perfect, but is that true? Yes, that is true. But does it necessarily make greatness? Yes, that is also true. Please don't click out of the video. When you're working on your craft, for instance, making beats, it can be easy to boil down your progress to a simple metric like practice hours. You hear it all the time. It's easy to do because you can measure it. And practice is really important, but if you get to the end of your 10,000 hour journey and that's all you focus on, you might be a little bit disappointed. There are other things that go into making someone great at what they do. Things you can control, by the way. Things that are mental, philosophical. Even a change in perspective can make your 10,000 hour journey that much more enjoyable. Let's start with something that I feel is personally really important. It's something that I call reading between the liner notes. Getting better at making music isn't necessarily just about skill and muscle memory. Sometimes we focus on that so much that we forget about the cultural aspect. Let's imagine that you grew up in a world, an alternate version of this world, where all you ever heard in your life in terms of music was the song Hot Cross Buns. We all know the song. You probably played it on a recorder in your childhood. It's 3 notes. Let's say in that world where that's all you heard, you decided that you want to make music. What kind of music are you likely going to make? Probably something that sounds a lot like Hot Cross Buns. This is an exaggerated what if, but it shows you what happens when you don't expand your horizons. I'm personally, and I'm not alone, of the mind that there are no original ideas. Every single thought that you have is a culmination of everything that you've ever experienced, and it's being regurgitated through your perspective. Now imagine if that perspective had only ever heard Hot Cross Buns. It would be a miracle if you confidently came up with anything much different than that. Now imagine if you only listened to one type of music. And let's associate that genre with a color, we'll say green. When it comes time for you to paint your picture, you look down and all you see are different shades of green. You see what I'm getting at? What I would suggest is you find an artist that you want to use as a jumping off point. If you like that artist, you might like somebody else on the label that put them out. Who else was in their town? Who else was playing the same shows as them? Go all the way back and then come forward. The more paints you have at your disposal, the more likely it is that you come up with a combination of colors and shapes and sizes that no one has ever seen before. And therein lies originality. Okay, next thing. Read the manual. I know I just said read the manual, but don't read the manual, okay? The good news is you don't have to anymore. If you have any question about something musical, chances are there are 10 to 1,000 YouTube channels that are out there with videos on that exact same topic, begging you to click on their video for them to explain this concept to you. I started making beats in 2004, and I would have absolutely killed to have even a fraction of the resources at this generation's disposal. Let's just say you're new to making beats. You never made one before, and you just downloaded a free trial of Ableton, and you go, what is any of this? You search on YouTube, Ableton tutorial, and up pops a 3-hour video that explains everything about Ableton. You're gonna watch it in one sitting and go, aha, I get it. And then you're gonna forget all of it, get frustrated, and not make beats. Here's something that I do that really helps me, and I hope it helps some of you if you choose to do this. I think that applied learning is huge here. I would look at the program and I would say, what do I want to do in Ableton? Do I want to do my taxes in Ableton? Do I want it to present me a recipe? No, I want to make beats in Ableton. So I type how to make beats in Ableton. Now let's say you're an aspiring beat maker and you manage to create a pattern and you're thinking, wow, I like this. I want to create a B section. So then you would type how to duplicate a pattern in Ableton. This sounds really obvious, but I don't think a lot of people learn this way. Make your research pointed. Focus on an immediate obstacle that you're having and then tackle it. And then do that again and again and again. And before you know it, you're gonna know what you need to know. This is how I learn to this day. This next one, a lot of people have a problem with this at all skill ranges, even classically trained musicians who are 100 times better than I'll ever be. And that is get comfortable being bad. Can't sing? Who cares? Can't play? Hit all the wrong notes. As soon as you start judging yourself in a session, you're gonna start to make worse music. This is the place to make mistakes. This is the cutting room. They used to have to worry about that back when they recorded everything to tape, but guess what? We're in the digital world, baby. We can record as many takes as our heart desires. There's no reason to rush the process other than our own lack of patience. Don't be afraid to be bad. It's the only thing that eventually lets you be good. So far, I've been focusing on things that you should do but here's something that you shouldn't do. Don't buy more stuff. The hardware world is one big circuit of consumerism. By me making videos, making beats on this stuff, I'm not doing myself any favors by telling you this, but it's true. Every time you see a shiny new toy and you buy it, you're distracting yourself and slowing yourself down. Now, you have to learn a new piece of gear instead of working on music, or if you do this a lot, pile onto the continuing growing guilt of unused gear you half understand and never use, causing you to further procrastinate. It happens to the best of us. My rule of thumb is if it's revolutionary and something that would change the way I make music forever, it's just gonna override my inner cynic anyway. The better you understand your current gear, the easier it is to sit down and just create. Isn't that why we're all here anyway? There's a good chance that that sampler or synth or drum machine that you're eyeing isn't going to make you better, just more creatively fragmented. I personally can say I have too much gear. I'm always in the back of my mind thinking I'm gonna sell it, then I don't because I don't want to sell it for less than I paid for it. If you can avoid that sort of sunk cost fallacy, you're ahead of the game. Just get what you need and master that. That was a lot of talking for someone who doesn't normally do videos like this. If you want me to just shut up and make beats like the channel suggests, there's a playlist right here that's got a bunch of them. I'll see you there.